Aesthetic considerations. I tend to work in lower priced energy markets and find myself having to strike a balance between price and cost effectiveness. I don't care much about solar panel efficiency or even which of the brand name manufacturers I use. I'm comfortable with generic solar panels, and honestly, I'm more picky about inverter quality or racking type. I like the kind with integrated cable management. But the one solar panel upgrade that I always recommend to residential customers is to get an all black solar panel, which have a black frame instead of a silver frame and a black plastic back sheet instead of a white back sheet. Lower end all black solar panels exist. They will still have grid lines on the front of the solar panel, although those lines fade with distance. Top shelf all black panels can look like a rectangular piece of pitch black glass, but they cost a pretty penny too. So I tend to go more for mid-range all black solar panels on residential rooftops to produce a good aesthetic, because as they say in fashion, black never goes out of style. So in my design aesthetic, I am going for all black solar modules, internal conduit runs, and symmetrical array layouts that fill up most of the roof surface where there is budget and the design allows. The only error that this solar installer made in this picture is that there's a plumbing vent kind of hidden right here in the middle of the array. The design obviously called for a continuous row of solar panels, but the designer missed this painted black roof vent that is sticking up out of the roof. So by the time the installer gets there, they're simply stuck with putting a solar panel out at the end of the array instead of where it was supposed to go. Maybe the client says, well, it's on the back of my house, so nobody will see it. But rooftops are visible the further away you get from the roof. In fact, I will commonly ask clients to walk across the street from their home and then turn around and snap a photograph if I'm designing based off a remote site analysis, simply to reveal additional roof detail that doesn't appear on Google Maps or Bing Maps. It is possible to simply replumb the vent on top of the roof. Roofing vents are required to be a certain height off the roof to assist with gas dissipation. So installers might want to give the vent stack a little haircut with a bandsaw, which might be electric code compliant but could violate other parts of building code the electrician doesn't know about. To maintain plumbing vent height, it is a simple matter of rerouting the pipe underneath the array and out the top, accomplished with two 90-degree bends of plumbing pipe. I'm very interested in how to take a rooftop and build the roof out of solar panels rather than to use solar shingles. Solar shingles are not readily available, and the ones that do exist are not widely considered cost effective despite the marketing hype. My opinion is that the solar shingles that are on the market don't look any better than having all black solar panels on the roof with an array layout that prioritizes aesthetics. To achieve a hover-like effect with the solar array, with all the cable and racking tucked underneath the array rather than sticking out the edges, the racking cantilever span from the racking design software is important. The very last L-foot attachment on the roof is placed within the array perimeter, as well as within the cantilever span of the rail such that the last bit of solar rail will be cantilevered over the L-foot. The last solar panel on the array lands on the rail, and then the array may be cut to length with a cordless bandsaw. This effectively hides the racking underneath the array perimeter. With experience, the rail can be pre-cut down on the ground. Most racking manufacturers have a plastic cap to cover the nub of the cut rail to hide any rough edges. Some top-shelf racking systems will go a step further, hiding the end clips of the solar array underneath the module frame, although it complicates the install to achieve this very high-end look. The other part to making the roof array aesthetically pleasing, which is important for resale value, is to use internal conduit runs through the attic. Internal cable runs are no more complicated than external cable runs across the roof. Internal cable runs make the solar array look better on the roof, and it keeps the conduit and cable off of the hot exterior of the roof. The less wire for birds and squirrels to chew on, the better. And there are accessories on the roof for critter management called solar array skirts. But basically, keeping all of your cable and racking underneath the solar array allows it to achieve a very pleasant and almost magic hovering effect up on the rooftop. Here is the end result using internal cable runs to avoid having conduit on the outside of the roof. 20 years from now, these modules will not appear obsolete so long as they are still generating electricity.